Hello and welcome to this video and to 2026. I had to think about that then. I'm going to struggle with that one, I think. I don't really know what I'm filming, basically. I had started a video for the days leading up to Christmas. I don't actually know what I filmed, and then I never finished it, and then we did Christmas and we went down to Pete's family for New Year, and it's all been a bit manic. Not manic, but there's just been a lot of moving parts and I've not filmed. So I thought I'd just try and amalgamate that video with what this video was going to be, which is, you know, like resetting for the year. But we've also done a lot of that without me filming anything. So, it is the 3rd of January. The Christmas decorations came down today. So we did that this morning. Actually, very, very simple. I thought it could be a bit odd with doing it with Eloise here. Thought she might be a bit confused. She did say bye-bye Christmas tree, but that was it. Obviously you saw that we put them up with her, and she was helping with that, but actually she just sat and played with that till, if you can see that on the floor, for the entirety of it. She looked a bit like, the only way I can describe it is like Scrooge McDuck. She basically took all of her money out, counted it out and put it back in the till. So yeah, that was funny. But yeah, so she did that. As you've just seen as I've panned around, we have toys everywhere. I tried to do this job yesterday, in that we're going to try and implement a bit of a toy rotation system this year. She obviously got quite a lot for Christmas and we've had everything out, and you can see that her concentration on it sort of flits. So we've got basically 3 boxes, or 2 boxes and stuff that's going to be out, and we'll rotate that. I don't know if they're doing that weekly or every 2 weeks, but that will play by ear. So I started getting things in the boxes. I've already sort of made a list of all her toys and categorised them. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. And now I just need to get everything into the boxes. And I started doing that yesterday, but she wouldn't actually sleep yesterday for her nap. She refused to go to sleep, which meant that she was up and then pulling everything out and all of that. So I need to carry on with that one. So while I try and do this toy rotation, I'll add in the stuff that we got up to before Christmas, and then I will come back to you for this bit. Hello. Excuse if you can hear the hoovering, but only time I can talk to you really, and Pete's currently hoovering probably our bedroom, which is above us. So as the theme of this year, I'm not very good at vlogging. So I figured I would talk to you about what's been going on. I'm conscious that I'm leaning on Jeff, so I don't want to dig my elbow into him too much. Do you want to say hello, Jeff? And then today she hasn't gone to bed till about 2 again, because we took her out on a little festive morning jaunt. So we headed to, well, it was the Playhouse, but I didn't know where that was, but it turns out that is a room downstairs in the Crucible, for a children's show. So it was aimed at like 1 to 4-year-olds, so perfect for Eloise's age, as she's nearly 2. And it was called Christmas Lights, and it was just 2 people essentially lighting up their house for Christmas, but the lights kept changing or breaking, and they used very simple words. So it was like on, off, green, all of this kind of stuff, and they signed for each of them as well. Not that we sign with Eloise really, she does thank you, but that's it really. So we took her to that. She was very good with that, she was very focused in it. She is a shy bean though, my child. There was a point at the end where she could have gone and like run around the stage and things like that, but she just wanted to stay carried by Pete, or if when Pete put her down, he had to sit down with her and she didn't move. She didn't really explore anything. They did give out like the scarves and these like light up orbs, and there was like snowballs and stuff around, so she interacted with those, but she wasn't going to venture far from Pete's lap at all, or me. So yeah, she's a shy bean, but she seemed to enjoy it. That finished at 11, and we knew we wanted to be in town for food, so we had dinner in town. But where we wanted to go, which was Smoke, which is like a barbecue restaurant, that didn't open till 12, so we had an hour or so to kill. So we went around the light part of the Christmas market, so Eloise could see all the big, like the penguin and things like that. She was very enamoured by the polar bear with the skis, hence this picture. So we did that. We went to Costa, had a chocolate orange hot chocolate, because, you know, you've got to keep them going this season until they run out. They stopped selling them. I think that's number 3 for me, maybe 4, but I think 3. If I can sneak another one in by the end of Christmas, I'll be happy, I think. I mean, I'm happy anyway, but you know what I mean. So we did that. Still wasn't quite time, so we had a little wander around the stalls. Like, she was holding both mine and Pete's hand. It was very cute. And then we found a carousel, so we went on the carousel. Annoyingly, this is the part I probably should have videoed. Obviously, I've got live photos, so while I'm talking, you're probably seeing those, or just the stills. So we went on the carousel, which was fun. It was actually quite quick. It's quite fast, and the ride was a lot longer than I was anticipating. So the price point for it was steep for what it is, but less so than what I thought it would be compared to what we got, if that makes sense. And Eloise again seemed to enjoy it. Certainly when Pete was pretending to gallop kind of thing, all of that kind of stuff. So she enjoyed that. We got off and she asked immediately to go on again. So we had to explain that no, we couldn't go on the horses again, and that we were going to go for dinner. And then, as I say, we went to Smoke, which is a barbecue place. We both did the build your own. So you get 2 meats, chips and coleslaw. Pete didn't seem overly impressed by his. He had the pulled pork, which I thought was alright, and the sausage, but he said that was a bit dry and needed a bit more flavour. I had the pork belly, which was very nice. A little heavy on the pepper at points of it, but still very nice. And I had short ribs, which in hindsight I shouldn't have got those. They were a bit tough and spicier than I was anticipating, but it was fine. And the chips were nice, all that kind of stuff. And we actually got Eloise a kids meal, which we never do, but her other option was 2 sides, and that would have cost more money. So she had sausage and chips, and actually she did really well with it. It wouldn't appear like she's actually eaten a lot when you looked at the plate at the end, but she did, and she had both the sausage and the chips. So it's probably one of our more successful meals out. If you remember last time we actually went out for dinner was probably London, and all she ate was like bread or chips, so much more successful, which is nice. And we just had a very nice morning, but it did mean that we came back a bit late, and she's gone down for a nap at 2 today, so we really are pushing her naps, and we're probably going to do a similar thing tomorrow, although we do need to be back before 2 to eat lunch before I've got a driving lesson tomorrow, because obviously Friday is Boxing Day, I think, somewhere like that, so I wouldn't be having a lesson then anyway. So I asked if we could do it earlier, so we're doing it tomorrow afternoon, which does also mean I get to have a practice at driving in the dusk/dark, which I think will be helpful for me as well. But tomorrow we're going for a morning with Santa. We haven't taken Eloise to see Santa in her life yet. As I said, she's quite shy, so I'm not convinced like the grotto scenario is going to be particularly good for her. There is no way she'd want to sit on Santa's knee or anything like that. So I don't really know what this is. It wasn't very well described, but it was free, so I figured let's give it a go. But it's a morning with Santa. I think there's some stuff going on and Santa's going to be there. I don't know whether we get a picture with Santa or anything like that, but she's going to be in the vicinity, which I think is probably what we need this year. When she sees him on like the TV or like in pictures or whatever, she knows it's Santa, so we'll see how that one goes. Again, I'm unlikely to vlog it, but we shall see. But yeah, as said, if you saw last Christmas and the video I made there, I was saying last Christmas that I felt like I'd let her down. I don't feel like that as much this year. The reason I said that last year is because basically we did nothing and it was her first Christmas, and I was like, I know she won't have the memories, but we would, and all of that kind of stuff. I don't think we've done a lot. We definitely could have done more, but I think we're doing enough for where she is at the moment. So yeah, I'm much happier this Christmas, and very much looking forward to the day itself. But yeah, as said, that is a little rundown of what we've done today. And then, as you've just heard, we've cleaned the house, so I've just finished cleaning all the bathrooms, and Pete was doing some of the other bits. So a nice little sit down before she wakes up is well in order. But yeah, there we go. So we're utilising all the space in our house for Christmas. Well, technically my brother could have gone in the room next to us, but he snores loudly, so spare bed is out, the sofa bed is out. Presents everywhere. Presents are everywhere. So we're just on like quick run over with the Hoover and stuff, made the beds, got towels. Dinner is in for this evening. So we are having mulled wine brisket, although we couldn't get brisket, so hopefully it works okay. So that's all in the slow cooker, cooking away. And I think we're prepared, I think we're done. Which I wasn't sure we would, but I think we are. And my family are due at any point. Let's not go in there because Bing and Bowie is singing, and I'll get copyrighted. So we did go and see Santa yesterday, but it didn't go well. It went as I expected, to be honest, but not your, social media picture perfect way. Because we got there, we didn't really know what to expect, but essentially it's queue up, see Santa, and it was free, so I'm not complaining about that. Definitely the way to go for us, because we have, as I said before, a child who is very nervous and shy around people that she doesn't know. So yeah, we got there, we got in the queue, we got her at the pram, she was with Pete, and she seemed reasonably excited about Santa being there. But as we got closer and closer to her turn with Santa, she got more and more like physically into Pete, and more like, let's look over at the thing over there rather than going to Santa. And then as soon as we got in front of Santa, she burst into tears. So we never got a picture, which is fine. We'll try again another year and see how that goes. But I'm very glad I found one that was free, because if we had paid, I think the grotto in the Sheffield Christmas market was like £8.99. If we'd paid like nearly a tenner and we'd literally were there for 10 seconds because she burst into tears, I wouldn't have been very impressed. Obviously with this free one you don't get a gift, but for us it was about trying to just introduce her to the idea. I originally thought there was going to be like, I don't know, colouring pages, a little bit of craft, and Santa would just wander around, and I thought that would be better for her, but it wasn't. So yeah, it didn't quite go to plan, but then we did get some churros from the market and she liked those, and so did we. So yeah, that was just it. I hope you enjoyed that pre-Christmas interlude. Now back to trying to get my house into some sort of usable semblance of normality. But I have finished the toys. I don't know whether it won't stay like this, it will get moved about. But here are my boxes for rotating. Box 2 will come out next. Box 3 is a little more awkward because it's got the bluey playset, which is actually kind of disappointing. I'm hoping these will go on top of her wardrobe. That bit, where to store these, I haven't quite worked out, but I'm hoping they'll go on top of her wardrobe. If not, we have plenty of space in this house, we can work it out. So that's that. And then what she's actually got out at the moment, so these two had a lot of play when she was little. Kind of sad to be moving them out, but she's too big for those now. They're just some stacking cups and a short shape sorter. Lots and lots of play, but it's time. So her box of books will remain there. I did a little clear out of some of those before Christmas. The slide, I don't know what we're going to do with this one yet. At the moment it'll stay there. There's a small patch for her to land. Same with her new trike that she got for Christmas. We need to get her a helmet before we can go outside with it. So it's currently living here. This is not going to be its permanent home. We need to work out where its permanent home's going to be. But yes, that's here at the moment. And then we come to my new toy rotation station, which is going to confuse her because normally her toys have been laid up along below the TV, but they're now all in this corner. So she got a play kitchen from Pete's aunt for Christmas. This one comes from Smith's. Thought it had a nice design. My brother built it. Here's a picture of him looking a bit stressed by it. So she's been really enjoying this so far. It's starting to spark that imaginary play. So she sticks the plates in the microwave and then gives it to me to eat, and I either pretend it's too hot or whatever. The hobs we haven't touched. But she does have a pancake kit in one of her rotation boxes, because in this cupboard for now, she got a toaster, a pancake kit, and she already had a mixing bowl, Fisher Price mixing bowl. So with each rotation I'm going to change what's in here. So 1 week she'll have the pancake. At the moment she's got her toaster, the chopping board and the stuff. The utensils were up here, but sorry Adam, she pulled it off and it has ripped slightly. So I think we're going to keep the utensils down here for now. And the chopping board came with these fruits that she can cut. My brother also bought her some fruits and the shopping bag which hangs at the edge. So all her food is currently stored in the oven, and I've tried to split it so we've got things that she can cut with her cutting board at the bottom and then other stuff. And so that she had some jam and stuff in her toast kit. So that's there. There's also a salt and pepper shaker that came with there. So for plates, 2 of them came with the kitchen, 1 of them came with the toaster, so that's why we've got 3. So yes, this is going to stay out all the time, obviously, and I think I'm going to keep her baby and pram out all the time as well, because she's been really enjoying playing with that. And as an aside, I convinced Pete that we should buy a potty, so we now have a little potty in the corner here, which we only got out today, and she has already sat on it, both with and without her trousers on. But I think if we have it here, then we can play with the doll and encourage, toilets and that kind of stuff. And then the shelves. So we used to have these big blue boxes here. I've removed those, and now they can have different toys on it. So I got her the dinosaur sorting thing for Christmas, or Father Christmas did. One of the two, and she's been really enjoying that, so I've decided to keep that out. Her building thing at the moment is going to be the Duplo. She's got her wooden blocks in one, and rumour has it that she's getting some magna tiles for her birthday, so that will go in the other. So she's got a building thing. So she's got 3 puzzles. Currently she's got her carrot sorter, her shape one, and her fruits, because she hasn't used those in a long time. So I figured we may as well get those out. And then I thought, because she got this one for Christmas from my uncle and auntie, we'd have the unicorn truck and all of her cars and things. Plus we turned her playmat over to the road, so that might help. And then just in this box we've got some musical instruments, a heads and tails sorting game, and a sticker book, which she's been playing a lot with since Christmas. Would highly recommend these for small children, reusable. They say 3+, mine is not 2 yet, and she's been playing with them since she was about 18 months, maybe even less than that, 14 months, and has really enjoyed them. So yeah, that's what we've got. Hopefully this will help with her concentration levels and her, decision fatigue of what to play with, and it will help us be a bit more focused in play, and all of that kind of stuff, because you could tell she was getting a bit overwhelmed by everything. So that's what I've been up to. As I said, we'll play it by ear. We'll give it a go for like a month probably and see how we get on. It might be that there's not enough toys out, it might be that there's too many, I don't know. It seems like a good selection of things for her to be involved with. And bear in mind that she does go to nursery for 3 days a week, so this is actually only for 4 days worth of play if I change it weekly. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. It makes me feel better, even if it doesn't make her feel better. But I do think she's going to be confused to begin with because obviously it's all moved up to this corner. My only concern is that it's next to Jeff's bed. And she has a habit of trying to irritate him in there and has climbed in it every now and again. So having her toys next to it, is that going to just increase that? Again, is something for us to play by ear and consider as we try this out. It's definitely a trial to begin with, and we'll see what the hell happens with it. Yeah, I now need some hands to help me take them upstairs, plus she's in bed, so we can't even put them in her room yet. But that's that one, and we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated throughout the year. And if and when, well not if and when I change them over, maybe I'll show you what's in some of the other, what's the word I'm looking for? Pots. She does also have, and this is not going to be its forever home, but available at all times, she has some Play-Doh and some colouring pencils in this drawer. But I'm not going to tell her they're in this drawer for a little while, because that would be annoying too. So yeah, that seems like a job well done to me. Let's just see how my child reacts to it. So the other thing that I was going to mention in this sort of reset part of the video is obviously like New Year's resolutions, I guess, plans for the year, which we don't have anything solid. I've got a few shows and that booked, but nothing else is set in stone. We will go on holiday and things like that. I like the idea of having a word for a year. I know a lot of people do that, but I'm not very good at that kind of thing, so I haven't done that. The one thing I have thought about for this year involves this channel, and that is that I'm going to not stress about it quite so much, so you may find I'm a bit more inconsistent with my videos. I found this year particularly, because I'm trying to be present, I suppose, with Eloise and our family and all of that kind of stuff, that when we have been doing things, I've not been videoing them, then all my videos have been a bit dull, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, there are some really good videos from this year, like our Menorca things and stuff I really am proud of, but then there are a lot of videos that I'm not proud of. And in my head, they were going to be like so much better, and then I didn't film anything. So the videos, as I said, might be a bit more inconsistent as I work out what I'm doing with that. My plan is to probably do less of this kind of stuff, like homey things, like toy rotation and stuff. I know will be helpful to some people. I've obviously watched quite a lot of content on it to try and work out what I was going to do, and it doesn't have to be some elaborate system as you've seen from what I've done. So those kind of things, if I think they might be helpful for someone, then I probably will include them. But just the general, I've done a lot of like, oh, we're doing this now, we've been to the shops, which I just don't think people want to see. Or at least it's not content that I'm particularly interested in. I found people doing like hauls and stuff, I've gone off, unless they're books. But my thought is, if I don't try and push myself to get a video out every week, then the videos I do put out will hopefully be more interesting. Don't hold me to that though, because that could not be true. But yeah, so that's where we are with the channel. So if you are, keen to seeing what we get up to, click, I think there's a bell that you click that sends you notifications when I upload. I will still be uploading on a Sunday when I do upload a video, and there probably will still be like a good 3 a month or whatever. It just might be the odd one, like last week, that I will miss. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Sort of things in the house that we want to do. I'm scaling it back because we just never get the jobs done. So the only thing I really want to do this year is to change the curtains in mine and Pete's bedroom, and to get some new duvets for us. Hopefully we can get some more stuff done in our house, but that is like the main thing that I want to get done. And I want to pass my driving test this year. I started driving lessons in March 2025, so I'd like to get it passed, preferably within a year of starting lessons, but we'll see. I do have a test book, I'm just not telling anyone when it is. So yeah, that is my plan for 2026, get some new curtains and pass a driving test. So yeah, wish me luck. If I get up to anything else in the next day or so, I'll add it to this video, but for now, I'll catch you later.